Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our live coverage of Starlink Group 12-17 mission launching from Space Coast, that is Launch Complex 39A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida. This is the third attempt for this particular Starlink mission. Hope you all are excited about the upcoming SpaceX launch and doing fine. We know for sure that everyone here is well excited about the upcoming Kuiper mission, so keep the excitement building. It's just a couple of days away. Watch out our channel page for the new stream link and we will be soon posting it. Well, if it's your first time here, hi, my name is Dipta Maitra. I'll be your friend firstly and the host providing commentary for today's mission launch, and you are watching AstroYonder live.
Roger, 0G, and I feel fine. Capsule is turning around.
Houston, we see a nominal MECO. Welcome to space.
We are super excited bringing you the coverage of SpaceX's 470th overall launch and the 42nd Falcon 9 launch of this year. Currently, we are waiting for a Falcon 9 liftoff at 8:53 p.m. Eastern Time, 12:53 hours UTC from Florida for a southeasterly launch for SpaceX Starlink mission. The Starlink mission 12-17 will launch 21 Starlink satellites, including 13 with direct-to-cell to low Earth orbit. Before we dive in, on behalf of AstroYonder team and our awesome moderators, we want to thank all of you joining us for today's launch. We are truly grateful to have you all here. A big thanks to our amazing YouTube community for being here today, supporting us as we provide detailed coverage of space launches, complete with extensive stats and thorough insights. Really appreciate you all being here today. We would love it if you guys hop into the chat and let us know from where you guys are tuning in from. Feel free to drop any questions, suggestions, or share your thoughts as we move ahead on the stream. And if you face any technical issues on the stream at your end, please don't hesitate to let us know. We will try to solve it as soon as possible. Now, just a heads up, it's me only managing the launch coverages on my own. So if we face any technical hiccups, please bear with me and hang tight. I will do my best to guide you through the upcoming Falcon 9 rocket launch happening in approximately 38 minutes from now. As it's getting close to 38 minutes mark, right now SpaceX launch director will verify for the propellant load to proceed with, and just following that, after 3 minutes the RP1 rocket gate kerosene loading will start, and at the same time first stage LOX load liquid will begin. Now let's get into the mission details. According to weather officials, there's a 99% chance of favorable weather conditions at the time of launch today, with absolutely no launch weather constraint violations. The forecast calls for temperature of 20 degrees, 32% cloud cover, and a wind speed of 10 miles per hour. as we saw previous scrubs for this mission. So let's keep our finger crossed and hope the launch proceeds on time without significant delays. But if for some reason the launch does not happen today, which we don't want, we do have a backup opportunity tomorrow, that is on Sunday, April 13th, with launch window opening at 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time. Now let's take a look at the payload details for Starlink Group 12-17 mission. Built in Redmond, Washington, today's payload consists of 21 version 2 mini satellites, including 13 direct-to-cell satellites. This launch marks the 28th dedicated Starlink launch for this year. Earlier today, we had the 14th non-dedicated Starlink mission for this year on NROL-192 mission. Now, each satellite is equipped with 5 advanced Ku-band phased array antennas, 3 dual-band parabolic antennas utilizing Ka and E-band, and a 52.5 square meter dual solar array with a wingspan of 100 feet. These two solar arrays are also aeroneutral, which makes the satellite to perform faster on-orbit maneuvers. Also, each satellite is equipped with a high-capacity battery to provide power to the payloads. Each Starlink satellite features 3 space laser transponders, which are also known as optical intersatellite links for intercommunications operating at up to 200 Gbps. And for this intercommunication, this optical intersatellite link uses lasers. Now they make use of argon-fueled Hall effect thrusters for in-orbit maneuvering, previously which was based on krypton, but this switch was made keeping in mind for the cost efficiency as the argon compared to krypton. Today's payload will be deployed in an orbit with an altitude of approximately 284 kilometers with an inclination of 43 degrees. But the functional orbit will be an altitude of approximately 560 kilometers and with an inclination of 43 degrees. Each version 2 mini satellite weighs approximately 1,763 pounds, that is 800 kilograms. And these Starlink satellites use custom-built star tracker to find their position, altitude, and orientation for optimal broadband throughput. Each one has 4 reaction wheels for precise attitude control, plus a hot spare setup for their reliability. Their aluminum flywheel is designed to safely burn at the end of their useful life during the re-entry. Additionally, they have an on-board autonomous collision avoidance system that uses the US Department of Defense debris tracking database for avoiding collisions with space junks, other spacecrafts, and with other Starlink satellites as well autonomously. Now, to understand the importance of autonomous collision avoidance system, here is a quick context for you guys. According to a SpaceX report published previously last year, Starlink satellite performs nearly 275 collision avoidance maneuvers each day. And in that course of past 6 months, when this report got published, Starlink satellite performed a mind-boggling 50,000 collision avoidance maneuvers. So you can completely understand what's the significance of an autonomous collision avoidance system. Well, excuse me, this is not for this launch. Now, speaking of SpaceX direct to cell satellite, direct to cell is a technology developed by the Starlink team. In easy word, it's like having a cell phone tower in space. This technology allows our cell phones to connect directly to the satellites. In case we are in a remote area where there is no cell tower nearby, in that case we won't get any signal on our phone. But with this direct to cell satellite technology, our phones can get a signal directly from a Starlink satellite overhead. For this, you don't need to make any changes to your existing LTE phones. It is designed and to be compatible with working with the common LTE standards with absolute no changes to hardware, firmware, or any special apps required. Whether you are on land, lakes, coastal waters, or even in the air, as long as you can see the sky, you can get a signal. Now, just a quick fun fact, and I hope this will amaze you as well. SpaceX's first launch of 2024 with Starlink Group 7-9 mission deployed the first set of 6 Starlink satellites with direct to cell capability. And today we are here having the hands-on experience of this technology in its beta testing phase. Now, just a reminder, Starlink direct-to-cell phone internet connection started its beta testing in collaboration with T-Mobile back from January 27 this year. So those who haven't already, go rush and enjoy this amazing tech. Once again, just a reminder, SpaceX is currently targeting a liftoff time of Falcon 9 from Kennedy Space Center at 8:53 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, April 12th. Now let's take a look at the flight record for the booster supporting today's Starlink 12-17 mission. The booster with tail number 1083 supporting today's mission. You can say a teenage booster with 9 previous flights in its record, including 5 non-Starlink missions. Crew 8, Polaris Dawn, commercial resupply mission, that is 31, CRS 31, Astronis from one to many, and recently the IM2 mission. Additionally, this booster supported 4 Starlink missions, now awaiting its 10th flight, just about in 28 minutes from now. The last mission supported by today's booster was a IM2 mission on February 26th of this year, launching the Athena lunar lander. It's the third launch of this booster for this year, and the booster's turnaround time as of today is 45 days. Today's mission will be the 7th launch of this booster from Pad Launch Complex 39A, with previous 4 landings on A Shortfall of Gravitas, 3 landings on Just Read the Instructions, and 2 on landing zone 1. Now let's have a look at the bar graph showing number of Falcon 9 launches each year. Before this upcoming launch, SpaceX completed its 41st Falcon 9 launch for this year with the NROL-192 mission launched from Vandenberg on April 12th, that is today, leaving behind the number of launches made up to 2021, now having 10 more than the launches made in 2021. Previously, SpaceX completed 132 launches of Falcon 9 last year, marking a year with the highest annual launches to date for SpaceX, that is 134 launches in total. Those additional two were the Falcon Heavy launches. Hopefully, we will be having some Falcon Heavy launches this year as well. Now, before this upcoming launch, with today's launch of Starlink 12-17 mission, the bar graph shows 42 Falcon 9 launches for 2025 as they are getting closer to the 61 number of launches made in 2022. Now they will be having 19 less number of launches made in 2022 with today's mission. A previous tweet from Elon suggests we might see around 180 Falcon 9 launches this year, which signals SpaceX is aiming for another record-breaking year, surpassing last year's highest annual launches. If this stream fuels your love for space, give us a like. It's like fine-tuning the trajectory of our mission to build a community with amazing space enthusiasts like you. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification so that you won't miss a single launch update. We believe together we will build the ultimate constellation of space enthusiasts. Now please allow us a couple of seconds to check whether launch is on time or not and to stay updated. Well, it's on time, no issues. Once again, just a reminder, SpaceX is currently targeting a liftoff time of Falcon 9 from Kennedy Space Center at 8:53 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, April 12th. Now, let's move ahead and have a look at the trajectory for today's mission. We would love it if you guys can show up into the chat and let us know from where you are tuning in. We'll be more than happy to know more about you. And if you have any suggestions, any questions, feel free to ask us because with each stream, we are learning things as well. Now let's go ahead to the trajectory for today's mission. Falcon 9 leaving the pad from Space Launch Complex 39A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center with a batch of 21 Starlink satellites on board for a southeast trajectory heading into low Earth orbit. that is to the 12th shell of second generation Starlink mega constellation, indicated by that green line on your screen. The red line indicates where Falcon 9 first stage will land after stage separation, just a little later, leaving Florida's space coast. This is going to be a drone ship landing using autonomous spaceport drone ship, and today's mission is supported by A Shortfall of Gravitas drone ship, one of the two here on the east coast. This will be the 104th landing on A Shortfall of Gravitas drone ship to date. Now the planned booster recovery is approximately 500 kilometers, with estimated fairing recovery approximately 600 kilometers downrange. And the stage 2 debris re-entry will be in the South Atlantic and Indian Ocean on the second orbit. Currently, there are 3 in SpaceX's drone ship fleet. One of the 3 drone ships just read the instructions and A Shortfall of Gravitas are stationed here in Florida, while of course I Still Love You is stationed in California. We do expect the addition of a fourth drone ship likely by this year as promised earlier by SpaceX, but as of now there is no clue about the debut of a new drone ship. Hopefully we will have it soon. On your screen are some of the stats related to the drone ships. I guess you got a rough idea about the details of each drone ship. With that, let's move ahead to the fairing recovery. Speaking of fairing recovery, the two halves of the payload fairing will be recovered slightly further, approximately 100 kilometers downrange from where the first stage lands on a shortfall of gravitas after they will smoothly splash down with the guidance of parachutes. SpaceX will utilize a recovery vessel to retrieve them from the Atlantic waters. We know SpaceX manufactures the fairings in-house, with the total cost of two halves is nearly $6 million. So no wonder that SpaceX aims to recover the fairing for repetitive use, following their same approach with the rocket boosters, upholding the motto of reusability and sustainability. Now on your screen you can see how a fairing recovery looks like. The recovery vessel on your screen is Dirk performing the recovery operations. Is also being today's supporting recovery vessel, one of the 3 here at the east coast. I guess Bob it's underway and getting all geared up for the upcoming Starlink 6-73 mission, which will feature The booster with tail number 1067 flying for its 27th time, which is again a record breaker. And I guess today also SpaceX will be having a new record, and we'll talk about that in a while. But other recovery vessels, out of the other recovery vessels, Go Cosmos is now awaiting its next assignment. And as of yesterday, as I checked, Go Cosmos was at the Gulf of Mexico. Now, once again, before proceeding, please give us a few seconds to check if the launch is proceeding as scheduled and keep ourselves updated and informed. Well, it's still on time. I guess SpaceX is firm to launch it today at least on time and not pushing off the liftoff time further. Now, before proceeding, we have a request again for you folks. Consider giving this stream a like as your way of boosting us past max Q, passing through the maximum dynamic stress of the YouTube algorithm so that we can connect with more space enthusiasts like you. Subscribe and tap the bell icon so that you will never miss an update for the upcoming streams like a perfectly timed launch window. We would be super grateful for your kind support. Now we are approximately 8 minutes away from the webcast to begin. So let's quickly be done with the stats for today's mission launch. Today's launch marks 470th SpaceX's overall launch and 28th dedicated Starlink launch of this year. This is going to be the 457th Falcon 9 launch to date. The 10th flight of this particular Falcon 9 booster supporting today's mission with tail number 1083. Today's mission marks 42nd Falcon 9 launch and SpaceX's 44th overall launch of this year. This will be the 400th Falcon reflight to date. That is the launch of a booster that has flown at least once before. I was talking about this record previously. I hope SpaceX will be also mentioning this on their social handle. It's quite amazing that today we will be having the 400th Falcon booster reflight. It's really a milestone in the way of reusability and sustainability. 107th orbital launch for SpaceX, launching from Launch Complex 39A, and the 201st overall orbital launch from this pad. With the success of this mission, SpaceX will have a remarkable 8,289 Starlink satellites, including 583 dedicated direct-to-cell satellites launched to date. Previously, the number of count for the direct-to-cell satellites was 570, as we will be having 13 more to add to it. The number rises to 583 direct-to-cell satellites to be launched and being on orbit. Now, moving on to some reusability statistics. This launch marks 384th Falcon booster reflight, Falcon 9 booster reflight to date. This will be the 104th landing on A Shortfall of Gravitas drone ship, 10th landing of the first stage booster with tail number 1083, supporting today's mission. And with this mission's first stage landing, SpaceX will be having their 343rd overall drone ship landing, marking 411th Falcon 9 landing to date and the 430th SpaceX's overall landing to date. Speaking of drone ship landing, let's have a look into the stats for drone ship landing prior to today's mission. So these stats are prior to today's mission and doesn't count in the number of landing made including today's one, so please don't get confused. And it's also written on the corner bottom right hand side that it's prior to today's launch, so please don't get confused with the numbers here. Meanwhile, you guys have a look into these stats. Let me have a look into the chat. Thanks Fairmade for tuning in. I know it's morning, I guess, at your place, or maybe afternoon. And yesterday, how you came to show up being such late at night? Before streaming, I was thinking maybe you won't be able to come because it was late at your place. But anyhow, thanks for tuning in, staying late at night for the launch. Now, I hope that you are doing well as well, Fairmade. And as I said, please provide me some me time, then I'm replying back to you on X. Let's have a look into some key stats for SpaceX launches in this year. With today's mission, SpaceX will be having its 44th launch of this year. Out of those 28 are Starlink missions, including today's one. 14 were non-Starlink missions for commercial and government organizations, and 2 Starship launches. 40 of these missions used a reused booster, including today's mission. Now, if we look into the geographical distribution, we get SpaceX will be having 28 launches from East Coast, with today's mission 9 of them from Launch Complex 39A, that is Kennedy Space Center, and 19 launches from Space Launch Complex 40, that is from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. On the West Coast, having 14 launches, that is from Space Launch Complex 4 East at Vandenberg Space Force Base. As of now, 2 launches from Gulf Coast at Starbase in Texas with Starship's 7th and 8th test flight, and 2 Super Heavy booster catches for both of those test flights. For landing, they will be nailing it for the 40th time this year. Most of the landings, as you can see on the screen, are on drone ship with 33 of them. As of now, with today's landing, A Shortfall of Gravitas is leading among the drone ship, and for ground landings, they pulled off 7 of them. Moving on to this year's orbital launches, including today's one, we have this pie chart over here. With this 76th orbital launch of the year, United States is leading with 48 launches, followed by China with 19 launches, Russia with 5 launches, 1 launch each by India, Japan, and lastly, Europe with 2 launches, which includes the most recent Spectrum ESA Aerospace's Spectrum launch as well. Now, this pie chart shows the 2025 orbital launches by rocket variations, including today's launch. As you guys have a look into this pie chart, let me check whether the webcast has started or not. Well, yes, it started. So let me just quickly set up this stream for you guys. Also would like to thank Brian Rocket for subscribing us and for your kind support. Welcome, Brian. I hope we could add some value to your viewing experience and will meet your future expectations with the streams and the upcoming launches. And also would like to welcome John Stewart. Thanks, John, for tuning in. I hope you are doing well, but it's hard for me to understand what you are referring to. If you will be kindly a little bit elaborative, it will help us to know what you are referring to. Adding value to your viewing experience here at AstroYonder is always being our top priority. If you feel we somewhat achieved that, providing those insights and stats, please consider liking this video. It really helps YouTube's algorithm bring in more space fans and helps others to find out this stream. Also consider subscribing to our channel as we work hard to bring you stream packed with stats, details and insights. For your kind support, we will be always grateful to you. So here we go. We got our first visuals for today's Falcon 9 launch. Right now, the tanks are pressurizing for a strong back retract. We are adding a bit of gas to stiffen up the tanks so that the clamp arms can open with a solid structure holding the Falcon 9. Upon opening the arms, we start reclining the strong back about a degree and a half from the Falcon 9. Strong back retract has started. We got the call out there. Now the process is underway. Soon we will be able to see the clamp arms around the stage 2 coming to open up and moving away. The clamp arms opening up underneath the payload fairing will be followed by the transporter erector reclining about a degree and a half from the vehicle, as this is a Cape Kennedy space flight. Here at Cape and Kennedy Space Center, we recline the strong back about a degree and a half, but at Vandenberg, we recline it 13 degrees away from the Falcon 9. While watching this live view of Falcon 9, a couple of important steps were completed. The spacecraft team switched to internal power and fueling of the Falcon 9 first stage is finished, meaning all the RP-1 prop is now on board. Here we are having some close-up visuals of the payload fairing being next to the strong back. Currently, we are still loading the liquid oxygen on both the first and second stages. We did got the call out. Stage 1 LOX load is complete. We are now awaiting for liquid oxygen loading for the first stage. Excuse me, first stage got completed. We are waiting for the second stage that will finish up at just inside T minus 2 minute mark. Currently, we are getting close to 2 minutes from the liftoff. The range continues to be green, and the weather, of course, is fully cooperating today.
Stage 2 LOX load is complete.
And to call out our countdown, stage 2 LOX load is complete. All the propellants are now on board the Falcon 9 with 1 million pounds of propellant. We are now beginning to vent down the pressure that was in the tubing on the strong back. That's why we can see those clouds coming out. It's absolutely normal.
Ground gas closeups.
Call out for ground gas closeout there. Here we bleed the pressure off, and that cold gas, when it reacts with the moist humid air, which gives us this nice white cloud and indicator of launch coming up. Next event, T minus 1 minute, we should hear the call out that Falcon 9 flight computers are in startup and controlling the rocket or the remainder of the countdown.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
Right on time, Falcon 9 flight computers on stage 1 and stage 2 are running the rocket through the last minute of count. Now let's listen to the go callouts.
Launch director, go for launch.
SpaceX launch director giving go for the launch. We are coming up at T minus 35 seconds. All system continues to remain go for the launch of Falcon 9 and Starlink. Now sit back and enjoy the liftoff of the Falcon 9.
T minus 15. T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff. Go Falcon, go Starlink. Vehicles pitching downrange.
Engine chamber pressures.
We have a successful liftoff. Falcon 9 has cleared the tower with Starlink satellites on board. We are at now T plus 27 seconds into the flight. Falcon 9 on its way with 21 Starlink satellites into low Earth orbit. Currently, we are into the throttle bucket, throttling down the 9 Merlin engines, preparing for the period of maximum dynamic stress coming up.
Power and telemetry nominal.
Some good call out. Power and telemetry is nominal.
Vehicles supersonic.
We have exceeded Mach 1 on the Falcon 9. Now the Falcon 9 is faster than the speed of sound as we have gone supersonic.
Max Q.
Max Q call out. We are through the period of maximum stress on the vehicle. We have throttled the Merlin engines back up to full power. Next call out, we will be hearing for the MVAC engine chill.
MVAC chill.
Right now, we started to chill down the MVAC engine on the second stage prior to its ignition just after stage separation. Coming up 3 events in rapid succession. The shutdown of main engine on first stage. From right now, we are getting this amazing view from the first stage, creating a circular halo on the camera. So up followed by the stage separation. and ignition of second stage MVAC engine for the first time, that is SES-1, which will boost the payload into low Earth orbit. So now let's hear the call outs there. And on your screen you can see a thin line of the atmosphere on the background.
Main engine cutoff.
Stage separation confirmed.
Impact ignition.
We just got the call outs for all the back-to-back milestones, and today we did just few seconds ago only, we did got some amazing views from the second stage. Right now the nitrogen thrusters are reorienting the first stage as the flight computers commanded the 4 hypersonic titanium grid fins for deployment after a successful stage separation.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And there we go, we got the call out, fairing separation being successful. Right now we are looking at the view of the first stage, although mostly it's dark there. The first stage will continue to rise towards the apogee before descending back towards the landing on on drone ship A Shortfall of Gravitas stationed in the Atlantic Ocean. Second stage, meanwhile, in the middle of its 6-minute burn, is on its way into the parking orbit with 21 Starlink payload on board, including 13 with direct-to-cell satellites. Currently, we are preparing for the first stage to make its return to the drone ship landing site. Until now, the launch went excellent and smooth. The second stage is now operating at its maximum capacity. We are getting some views from first stage, feeble and a hazy view, although from second stage we are not getting any cool views, but at least we can see the MVAC engine nozzle to be being performing at its full capacity there. The first stage has completed its task and is heading back for its landing. During this part of the flight, stage 1 relies solely on its grid fins for steering as it returns to Earth, and these grid fins orient the Falcon 9 during re-entry and guide the rocket during its descent. Right now we are viewing the second stage, but occasionally on the left side of your screen you can see nitrogen gas burst from the first stage for attitude control. By that it means orientation control. These are basically used to position the vehicle as it heads back towards the drone ship. Next call out in couple of seconds will be for the stage 1 entry burn startup.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
And there's a confirmation.
STS has saved.
We have just lit 3 of Merlin 1D engines on the first stage. Now we are rapidly slowing down the vehicle, as you can see on the bottom left side of your screen from the telemetry, as it enters the Earth's atmosphere, and this burn should last just around 27 seconds.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
And there we go. There's a confirmation of shutdown of the entry burn on the first stage. Falcon 9 is equipped with 4 landing legs, and those are made out of carbon fiber
STS has saved.
with aluminum honeycomb, and they will be deploying just prior to the landing. We did got the call out for stage 2 FTS being saved, which means the orbital insertion burn for the second stage is complete. Next call out we will be hearing for stage 1 being transonic.
Stage 1 transonic.
We just heard the call out. Stage 1 is now traveling slower than the speed of sound as it heads towards landing. Speaking of landing, we are less than 60 seconds away from that. Next call out, we will be hearing stage 1 landing burn to start up.
Stage 1 landing burn.
There we go. Great views of that landing burn with center E9 engine now lit. With that, we are slowing down the vehicle furthermore very rapidly. Should be seeing those landing legs deploy any seconds now.
Stage 1 landing leg deployed.
Landing legs deployed.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And there you have it, successful 411th landing of an orbital class Falcon 9 rocket. Coming up next, we will have the second stage engine cutoff. Right now we are getting the view from second stage MVAC engine, and that will be the SECO 1, and following that event the second stage will enter into 46 minutes of post phase as the vehicle ascends to its target orbit.
MVAC shutdown.
And there we go, we got the call out for SECO 1.
Nominal orbit insertion.
And a good call out as well for the nominal orbital insertion. So there we go, these call outs we were waiting for: second stage engine cutoff, SECO 1, and a confirmation of good nominal orbit. Although today we didn't got good views as it's not a daytime launch, but anyways, it is worth watching Falcon 9 to launch. Today's launch marks SpaceX's 470th successful mission, with the landing marking their 430th success. And this marks a record-breaking 400th time a Falcon booster has reflown. With that, we will wrap up our coverage for now. Be sure to check out our social media handle on X for the latest happening in space industry and updates on upcoming launches. Link, I guess, is provided on the chat section. Before going off, let's take a look at the chat. Thanks, Fairmaid, for being here. Really, it's glad to have you with us. Once again, let me have some free time. I want to say many things to you. But right now I'm just pushing myself to do the streams from long we were not streaming, so just setting things up. Please don't mind me replying late. Now before going, finally and most importantly, we want to thank you all for tuning in to our live launch coverage wherever you are watching from. We really can't do this broadcast without your kind support, and we are grateful for your continued encouragement for everything what we do here at AstroYonder. Hope you enjoyed the stream. We appreciate everyone joining us for today's launch. The upcoming launch for Starlink 6-733 mission launching from Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral. The stream is already there on the channel page. You can check it out. Hopefully we will be meeting you there once again. Wishing you a nice week ahead. And once again, thanks for watching. This is AstroYonder Live and me, Dipta, signing off for now, and we will see you next time.